Hi everybody, welcome back to Alfred's Basic Adult Piano Course, Lesson Book Level 1. This video is Lesson 45, covering page 51 in our book, Measuring 6. So it's been a little while since we've talked about intervals. You learned about a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. So as a review, I'm going to use my right hand here on the C position, middle C to be specific. So a second is starting on middle C. If I went up a second, C actually counts as 1, and so D, the next note up, would be 2, and so there is a second. If I play them individually, that's called a melodic second. If I play them at the same time, that is a harmonic second, creating a harmony. So a third, if we're starting on middle C, simply counting up 3, so C is 1, 1, 2, 3. A third would be C to E. And together harmonically. So if that's a third, a fourth would be C to F. And finally, a fifth would be C to G. Okay, but today we're going to learn about 6. So obviously if C to G is a fifth, keeping up with this same pattern, a 6 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A. C, D, E, F, G. Remember, the musical alphabet's only C through G, so you're starting all over again. Here's A. So C to A is a 6. Now at the top of page 51, it says when you skip 4 white keys, the interval is a 6. So there it is. Here are the 4 white keys that we're skipping. So it doesn't matter where you are on the piano. We're not dealing with black keys right now at all, just white keys. But any note I start on, let's say I start on an F. If I skip 4 white keys, that's another way of looking at a 6. So F to D, in this case, is also a 6. It also says in the pink box, 6 are written line space or space line. So when you're reading a piece of music, you can see there in the pink box, if you're looking at sheet music, the notes on the staff, the first one there is actually an E, which is a line note. So a 6 is always going to be aligned to a space, which is C in this case. So I'm not really focusing so much down here on the keys. I'm actually focusing on how you read it on paper. So line to space, an E to a C is a line note to a space note, or in the next measure, they've got an F to a D, space to a line. So in other words, if you see a line note going to another line note, that will never, ever be a 6. Likewise, if you see a space note to a space note, that will never be a 6. So it has to be a line to a space or a space to a line. Now, does that mean all line to space notes or space to line notes are 6s? No, because a fourth works that way as well. And the second works that way as well. Now with a second, those notes are really close together. A fourth, a little bit further apart. A 6, they're kind of wide apart. You know, there's more distance. So it's not like 100% method, but it's another way of helping enhance your reading abilities if you recognize that on the staff. Okay, there on page 51, we're starting with our right hand. There's a little diagram over to the left underneath where it says measuring 6. And it shows you the keyboard. Again, starting on middle C, it shows you the treble clef staff right below that. And these 6 notes on the staff, C, D, E, F, G, and then our 6 up from that C, which is A. Now notice, we're dealing with 6 notes. We only have 5 fingers. So in this case, the G that's played with the 5th finger, you're also going to take that 5th finger and play the A. So it says right hand in that little pink box, right hand 5 plays G or A. Now, is that always going to be the case in the future? Absolutely not. But for now, this is just a beginning method. So where it says melodic intervals, kind of reviewing here all the intervals we've learned and going on to a 6. So again, this is the right hand starting with middle C. Our first measure is a second, middle C to D. The next measure, middle C to E, that's a third. And then C to F, that's a fourth. Then we have a fifth, C to G. And finally, C to A. So a little bit of a stretch with our fifth finger to get that A, but very, very doable. So let's do that one more time. The melodic intervals, C to D, second, so third, C to E, fourth, C to F, fifth, C to G, and finally our sixth, C to A. Now right below that, we're going to do harmonic intervals. The same intervals, just played together at the same time. So we've got our second, C and D. We've got our third, C and E. We've got our fourth, C and F. Our fifth, C and G. And finally, our sixth, C and A. So you'll notice the melodic intervals are half notes and the harmonic intervals are whole notes. I don't worry right now about rhythms. This exercise really isn't much about rhythms. The focus here is just the intervals and focusing on that. And that takes care of the right hand. So the big takeaway here really is just our six, melodic six, C to A, and harmonic six, playing them both at the same time. Now in the left hand, we're going to go down here to our C position in the left hand, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's very similar to the right hand, except because of our fingering in the left hand, instead of your fifth finger playing on both G and A, now it's your thumb that's going to play on G and the A. So once again, we've got 5 on C, 2 on D, 5 on C, 4 on D, 3 on E, 2 on F, thumb on G, and our thumb on A. So down below the diagram for the left hand, we have the melodic intervals, starting with a second, C to D, another third, C to E, our fourth, C to F, our fifth, C to G, and our sixth, C to A. One more time. Our second, C to D. Third, C to E. Fourth is C to F. Fifth is C to G. And our sixth, C to A. And then finally, we're going to play the harmonic intervals, starting with our second, which was C and D played together. A little bit trickier because it's 4 and 5, our weaker fingers. So you want to make sure that's nice and solid. The key to making that work is curve those fingers. So you want to use those fingertips if you're having any trouble. If you're flat, a little bit trickier. But curve fingers gives you more control. Then we have our third, which is C and E. Then we have our fourth, which is C and F. Then we have our fifth, which is C and G. And finally, our sixth, which is C and A. And that's basically it for this lesson. So just introducing six. And when that happens, you know on the next page, we're probably going to have a song, and we are, which is going to be using those six and putting them to good practice. So make sure you just go through a couple times. Make sure the right hand is solid. The left hand is solid. And when I say solid, especially with the harmonic intervals, just make sure you got these clean, crisp, clear sounds. So both notes sound like one. And both notes have equal pressure from both fingers that are playing them. Okay, so, and then our six, of course. Don't want to leave that out. That's the new one. All right, so once again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave it down in the section below. And I look forward to hearing from any of you that might have any questions or comments. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. All right, good luck. See you there.